This blender is inopportunely placed. It looks like I'm trying to make out with it. Well, I guess with that sticking up, I'm not quite making out with it. All right, so there's some dishes that just stop you right in your tracks and make you go, hot diggity duck farts. That's a heck of a dish. And that's exactly what we got here today. We are doing a Popeyes chicken breakfast burrito. This is coming straight from the GMM episode, It Breakfast Burrito. We're poaching eggs and gravy. We're turning red beans into rice into hash browns. We're turning chicken tendies into chorizo. And did I say duck farts? Did ducks fart? We're breaking the recipe down into 3 easy steps. And if you want to snag the time codes for those, you can grab them right there. But we also got a full written recipe down in the description, not for duck farts, for the burrito. Let's get cooking. Duck fart sounds like a weird drink at a bar that I'd order. So this breakfast burrito all starts with a very unlikely premise, but just like kind of follow along here. It's kind of like magical realism. The idea is that you would have leftover chicken tenders from Popeyes. Crazy, right? Just follow along, just follow along. So we got this whole box of tenders. Popeyes is my absolute favorite fast food fried chicken. Say that 3 times fast. So what we gotta do first, we gotta toast our fresh chilies because we're taking these chicken tenders and we're actually turning them into chorizo. So we're gonna rough chop those chicken tenders, but first we got a pan heating and we're gonna take guajillo chilies. We're kind of making a chorizo spice mix from scratch to mix with our leftover chicken tenders because that's what's happening right now. If anyone hasn't cooked with dried chilies, I would absolutely urge you to do this. They are so fragrant and delicious and spicy, and when you take them in a pan like this and you just toast them up dry for like 4 or 5 minutes, it gets them nice and kind of blistered. It kind of elevates all those fruity, bitter notes in it. So we're doing that, and then we're gonna soak them in water. But now we're gonna gesture threateningly with a knife. So we're gonna chop up these tendies and resist the urge to eat them. Again, this premise is that you are in the morning and you are not just eating cold chicken tenders if you do have them left over, which is very unlikely. But do it. You know, order some extra tendies from the Popeyes. Oh yeah, it's a couple days old, but when you let Popeyes dry age in the fridge, the flavors are gonna concentrate. If you see mold start to develop on the outside of your Popeyes, much like a dry aged steak, you just trim it off. All right, got a nice rough chop on this. We got our chilies toasting, yeah. Just at that little point of burn, you see they're starting to scorch and get a little bit black. I breathe in chicken. Oh, the chicken's part of my lungs. Yeah, and that's fine. You'll see the seeds start to blacken a little bit, and then we're just gonna pour our water in, and then we're just gonna get a lid. You're just gonna pop that right on there. Let it come up to a boil and then shut it off. You're just trying to get the chilies to soften and steam so you can blend it up in the blender. What else would you blend it in? Blend it in your garbage disposal, then just reach down there and pick up the slop and put it in your dish. We got the heat shut off on that. We're just gonna let these chilies soak for about 10 minutes. I got some schmutz. I got schmutz in the oil. Get your oil care needs a manaki. I feel like I'm speaking foreign language to you people. Thank you, Ben, thank you. One person. George Foreman, oil care. We got our chilies soaked in water. You see this nice kind of chili broth has developed there. Take it with a shot of Jaeger. It's called a duck fart. When you go to a dive bar, you order a duck fart. It's just Jaeger and chili water. So we're gonna add that to the blender. And then other flavors that are common in chorizo. We're gonna add a couple cloves, a raw garlic in there, but when you saute this together with the chicken, it's kind of gonna open up and lose that raw flavor. We got a little bit of dried Mexican oregano. I'm out of breath because I've been eating chicken tenders between takes, if you notice. So like, don't pay attention to that. So I'm gonna add cinnamon into that too. Cinnamon is a flavor that you probably don't associate with a lot of savory foods, but it's actually in there a lot, especially in Mexican cuisine. Then we're gonna throw in a little bit of salt. And now we're just gonna blend her up. Blend it up, and you want a pretty smooth paste. I didn't know the lid wasn't on. That was not an intentional bit. I do not screw up intentionally for the benefit of you. I do it because I lack the confidence to succeed. There we go. We want to blend this up until all that chili pulp is really nice and smooth. You don't want to strain it. You know, just kind of keep it in there. All right, so we got the chili paste all nice and mixed up, and then now we got to take our pan. Go ahead and grab a towel. I'm just gonna wipe that pan out real quick. And then we're gonna get a little bit of vegetable oil heating in there. And then we're gonna start sauteing that chicken tendy chorizo. We want a little bit of excess fat in there because when you're cooking normal chorizo, you're typically using a ground pork, and then that's gonna release a lot of fat. All the fat in this chicken is stuck in the fried chicken bits, and there's a little bit of carbs in there that's gonna absorb some moisture. So we wanna get some excess fat in there. So we got some oil heating up. We're just gonna add our chicken bits right to that. This blender is inopportunely placed. It looks like I'm trying to make out with it. Well, I guess with that sticking up, I'm not quite making out with it. All right, so we're gonna take that chorizo mixture, we're just gonna get it in there. You see it's kind of liquidy right now. We're just gonna stir this out. We're actually gonna reduce it down until all that liquid's gone and it's just cooked into the chicken, and then it just soaks it up and your chicken's got that nice filet-o-fish bite.
Josh.
Yeah.
Duck fart is a shot.
A duck fart is a shot. Are you kidding me?
Kahlua, Bailey's Irish Cream, and whiskey.
Kahlua, Bailey's, and whiskey is a duck fart. That's way less good than just chili water and Jaeger. I'm gonna start selling that on the streets of Burbank. We'll walk around just screaming, duck farts! Just probably got arrested pretty quick. Anyways, check this out. This is coming together real quick. It got probably another 2 minutes on this saute, and then that's ready to go into our breakfast burrito. And now, on to the next thing, which is, God, could be anything. There's so many parts to this. We're poaching eggs in gravy? That's crazy. Now we have to commence with gravy poaching our eggs. Gravy poaching is a term that we made up, fresh, in the Mythical kitchen. We've actually taken gravy from Popeyes and we have thinned it out with equal parts water. So we're gonna wait for this to come up to a rolling boil and we're gonna actually poach our eggs in it. If you poach eggs in straight up gravy, it's too viscous to actually properly cook the eggs. So what I like to do is I take an egg and I crack it into a fine mesh strainer, and that's gonna get some of those liquid egg whites to kind of just drain from it a little bit. Yeah, you see the little kind of droopy, you can just kind of fiddle with it with your fingers. That's gonna reduce some of that kind of what I would call spermatocord coming out from the back of that egg. And so now I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna drop it into a little bowl like this. This makes it really easy to kind of dip into that gravy poaching liquid. And so you're gonna go ahead, bring that gravy water up to a rolling bowl. Key for bowl care. All right, so we're just gonna wait for this gravy to come to a boil. We see some bubbles forming right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop that heat down to low. Then I'm gonna take a handy dandy spoon, and what I'm gonna do is create a nice, just gentle whirlpool. You don't wanna swirl it too much. This can kind of just center all those whites. Then you're gonna take your egg and you're just gonna drop it right in the center. And you're gonna take your lid, cover it, let that chill for about 3 minutes, and then you can drain that from the gravy water, pop it on a plate, pop it in your breakfast burritos, pop it in your mouth, pop it wherever you want it. Pop, block, and drop it. I don't know what that means. Can someone teach me how to throw it back? It's like you like kind of, you see the jorts when you, what's the TikTok trend? They're all twerking in front of their moms. What's wrong with it? Don't get off TikTok unless you're following us. Follow Mythical Kitchen on TikTok. We got a feud with Gordon Ramsay. I think we're gonna fight one day. We're gonna joust with giant novelty spoons.
What are you gonna be riding when you joust?
What are we gonna be? Oh, we're gonna be riding in on Trevor. My trusty steed is just gonna be. Let's check out these eggs. Oh, look at that. This is frothing a lot like a latte, which I really like. Got it poached for about 3 minutes. The egg yolk is nice and kind of fudgy on that. That's how I like my poached eggs. Anyways, we're gonna repeat the process with gravy poaching these eggs, and then we're gonna start training to fight Gordon Ramsay. Trevor!
Yes, chef.
Get a saddle.
Yes, chef.
It's gonna get weird. All right, so we have to make our, we don't have to do anything. This is all optional, I can't stress that enough. I am choosing to make red beans and rice, hash brown, tater tots, whatever, some sort of fried starch to go in a breakfast burrito. I am a big fan of the combination of some sort of eggs, a liquid sauce, and starchy potato inside of a breakfast burrito, and heavily spiced meat, a condiment, if you will, not condom meat, condiment. And so we're gonna take our potatoes and some red beans and rice. We're just gonna go ahead and shove them. Make sure they're ice cold. This is gonna help them kind of stick together. I got a buddy that eats ice cold mashed potatoes, and I think it's gross. He loves it. Shout out to Chad. I hope you're still eating potatoes out there. So we're gonna put red beans and rice and potatoes in there, and then just to sort of absorb the liquid gravy that's in these tater tots that are gonna get deep fried, we're gonna add a little bit of flour into that, and then we got a little bit of baking powder just to try and give it some rise, and that baking powder interacts with the liquid inside this. Gordon Ramsay, you don't make red beans and rice tater tots. See me, bro. So we're gonna add some baking powder in there. When it interacts with the liquid, it's gonna sort of give it a nice rise. And then just a little bit of Cajun seasoning. If you choose one seasoning to keep in your kitchen, Tony Chachere's Creole Cajun seasoning is my absolute go-to. I will put that on absolutely anything. We're just gonna go ahead and mash this together into a nice paste. You want all that flour to absorb the gravy. Then we're just gonna lube up our hands. Why is this not in the jorts? Uh-oh. Yeah, you feel more confident that way. So we're just gonna continue mashing this up a little bit. So you see it's a nice pasty consistency. Now you're just gonna go ahead and, come on, grab your food lube up your hands a little bit. All I'm gonna do, kind of swipe in there, and we wanna make a nice sort of tater totty shape. So you might wonder how you make a tater totty shape. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it into a little cylinder, pinch the ends, and just make it little nuggets like that. I get why people think Gordon Ramsay's a better cook than me. We're gonna fly these in the freezer, and they're gonna get nice and frozen out, and then we're gonna drop them into the deep fryer. Not good raw, not good raw. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take these frozen tater tots. We're just gonna drop them about 4 at a time into the fryer. You don't wanna overcrowd the pan, and these are pretty finicky. They got a fair amount of flour in them, so the starch should help, I get why people think Gordon has more alpha energy than I do as I shriek. We're gonna drop 4 in there at a time. Make sure they don't touch because they can steam and then they're gonna break apart because these should have sort of like a molten liquid center. Because again, it's all that mashed potatoes and the rice. The flour is gonna help absorb some of that, but I can't stress enough. There's just a lot of gravy and beans in there, but they are gonna be super delicious. Tater tots are done. All right, look at that. Yeah, we just got nice crispy tottage on that. I'm gonna crack one open. I gotta test it. They're just nice and molten on the inside. These are gonna go awesome in that breakfast burrito. Woo! I can't believe pain tolerance. Check that out, Gordon. All right, so take tater tots out. Then we're gonna fly in another batch. And then once we fry these up, we can start rolling up those breakfast burritos. We can get our eggs in there, get them hash browns, that chicken chorizo, and we got one more little special surprise for you. It's a pickle. It's not in my jorts. We got all our stuff pretty much, but we gotta make our, what we're calling our pickle and mayonnaise salsa. This is inspired by the Popeyes chicken sandwich because they got their spicy mayonnaise and the pickles on it, and we wanna really infuse every part of the Popeyes menu into our breakfast burrito. So we're simply taking mayonnaise, a little bit of Louisiana style hot sauce, and some fresh chopped pickles. You can use relish, I prefer fresh chopped pickles. And then every time I say you can do X, but I prefer X, I just think some folk call it a sling blade, some folk call it a kiter blade. I gotta stop watching Sling Blade every night before I go to sleep, but I don't want to, it's a good movie. So I'm just whisking that up. So here we got our spicy pickle mayonnaise salsa that we're calling it. Now we gotta griddle off our tortilla. Everyone asks me, Josh, you're a burrito guy, what kind of burrito tortillas do you use? This is Guerrero brand Riquísimas Burrito Grande. It's my favorite store-bought tortilla to use for burritos. They're nice and big and pliable. And I'm gonna throw them onto a crepe maker to get them nice and heated. All right, so we're griddling tortilla. I like to spin it like a DJ, like Zac Efron from that DJ movie. So I'm gonna flip it one more time, and then while it's getting griddled, I like to throw my cheese directly on that. We're just using a little bit of sharp cheddar. I like to get a little bit of meltage on it. But now the tortilla is nice and pliable, and so I'm gonna remove that, and then I'm just gonna put on a large scoop of this chicken Tendie chorizo. That's going right in the middle. This is the star of the show for me. It's crazy how much it looks like chorizo, and it is literally just chopped up chicken tenders with a bunch of chilies and spices in it. That's gonna be absolutely fantastic. And then we're gonna take decisions cause precision collisions. All right, we're gonna take some of these, what look like fried plantains, but are actually our red beans and rice tater tots. There's no wrong way to construct a breakfast burrito. Like, you just gotta be intuitive about it. You know, you gotta use your women's intuition that you learned in the Lamaze class. And then get a nice little base of that, smush it down a little bit. We're gonna take some of these here poached eggs. We're just gonna splap those in the middle. You might get some yolk breakage, but as long as the yolk breaks after you've created the folds of the tortilla, you are all good. Then we're gonna take a little bit of that mayonnaise pickle salsa. Honestly, I like adding spicy mayonnaise in my breakfast burritos, and I refuse to apologize for it. I refuse to apologize for anything. I don't believe in regrets. I just believe in things that I strongly wish I didn't do. Some call those regrets. Now we're gonna roll it up. Yeah. You gotta use your middle fingers, tuck the eggs, and then on 3, we're just gonna close the door. 1, 2, go. Nailed it. Ah, yolk broke. We're fine. Seal it, help! All right, now we're just gonna seal off the ends of this burrito. That's nice. The broken yolk should actually help seal the folds here. That's fine, then some of the yolk's gonna solidify on the crepe maker, and you can just swipe it off with your finger. That's nice. We got one side griddled. That's nice. We don't want to go too much. We just want to get a little bit of color on that. And then we're simply going to pull it, and we're going to slice it, and we're going to eat it. And probably going to talk about more chefs that we want to fight. All right, we got our Popeyes chicken breakfast burrito. We got all that chicken Tendie chorizo. We got our pickle salsa. We got our hash brown tater beans in there. I'm going to take a bite. You got to massage it a little bit, and then holy fudge flops, that is a heckin' good burrito. Honestly, chicken tender chorizo is the best part, and it's that little bit of cinnamon that comes in, almost reminds you of like a cafe de olla when you're drinking it in the morning. But it's not my opinion that matters, it's sound guy Chris's opinion. He's the only expert that I actually trust.
Hello.
Chris, I'm gonna cut you off a bite with my trusty burrito scissors. And then, that worked out well. Then we're gonna fly in our trusty Mythical sport cam. We're just
gonna stay right here.
Gonna brace the scissors, yeah, get in the haunches.
That's a good balance.
Ah! All right, Chris, coming at you. Try and inhale when you bite. Slurp it. Yeah. Try and catch the burrito when it falls. There it is. Excellent technique, sir. How is it?
Oh my god, the chorizo is actually genius.
Isn't it?
I think I'll save some chicken tenders for this.
Yeah, you should.
And it is a great way to start my morning. And I do get the cinnamon.
It's
And
nice.
It's that little bit of, what is that, you know?
That's that chicken from Popeyes. Thank you so much, Chris, for being our taste testing guinea pig. And thank you so much for stopping by the Mythical Kitchen. We got new videos out every week. We got new episodes of our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, out every Wednesday. Big breath. Follow us on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen and show us pictures of your mythical duck farts under hashtag dreams become food. We'll see you next time. You can cook up your own feast while wearing the Mythical Kitchen apron, available now at mythical.com.